I often say I am deeply biased of Olympia being an amazing city that you may want to consider living in for very good reasons, and everything surrounding me will tell you. So today we're going to give you 10 things you need to know prior to moving to Olympia.
We're Joe and Charity. We're local realtors right here, and every week we're helping people just like you make informed decisions when they're thinking about moving to the Pacific Northwest. So let's jump into number one, because this really is the defining factor of Olympia.
Olympia is known as the hippie capital of Washington. And what do I mean by that? Well, it kind of stems from the roots. There's Evergreen State College here, which is very much known for its progressive spirit. We have a wonderful farmers market. It's rooted in the artistic community that makes so much wonderful art, and that type of free-flowing attitude finds its way through pretty much everything that happens here in the Olympia area. And then there's this earthiness to it. There's a little bit of a tree hugging. And I'm not saying I've been out on a walk, took my shoes off and hugged a tree.
Yes, he has.
But it probably has happened
Last week.
on probably more than one occasion. I think that that's the vibe that I absolutely love the most, is just how it feels so easy, laid back, free flowing, and that's the cadence and pace.
The second thing you need to know before moving to Olympia is that it has a small town feel. Yes, it's the state capital, but it is not huge. 58,000 people call Olympia home. Now, Olympia is also combined with Lacey and Tumwater, so altogether you're about 125,000 people, but you are going to feel like you can get to know people in the area. You're going to feel like you can get to know the area very easily. And if you really love living in a city where there's a lot going on, but you also get the combination of a small town feel, then Olympia might be just the place that you're looking for.
Now, the third thing has to do with our outdoor lifestyle. Now, granted, hugging a tree is not for everybody, but kayaking or being on the water, if that's something you're into, well, welcome to Olympia. We have so many water access points to kayak from, or to paddleboard, or in the city hikes and trails that are outdoorsy, but just add to this, you're living in the forest and also in a city. And as your backdrop to all of this is the surrounding beauty of Mount Rainier and the Cascades to the east, and the Olympic Peninsula and across the water to the west.
That outdoor lifestyle is one of the things that we love the most about living here. And what goes along with that is number 4, which is it is green everywhere. You can see a little bit around us, but mostly you're seeing the marina behind us. But we are just surrounded by green trees, green moss on the trees, green grass. Even in the summer, it doesn't even turn brown here. So a lot of other places, you know, summer gets hot and then it starts to turn brown. But here it's green all the way through the summer because we've had all that wonderful rain. We love walking through the forest as often as we can. In fact, Joe had mentioned we have great city parks. There's one near our house called Watershed Park. We can just be out the door, and just in a few minutes we are walking through this really dense, lush forest and moss hanging everywhere and the creek running through it. It is just absolutely beautiful, and the green really does get your attention. In fact, we were just walking through Watershed Park the other day, and it's getting close to fall, and Joe was mentioning just how bright green the leaves were, which you would think that that would be in spring, but it's just so green and beautiful here.
And that leads us to the fifth thing that you need to know before moving to Olympia, and that is our quirky festivals and a little bit deeper dive into our art scene. One of the big things that we are known for is the Processionistas, and that is a very cool parade that happens in downtown Olympia. People make costumes celebrating nature and Puget Sound and the animals throughout the area. It is so much fun to be a part of. And what fosters that type of creativity is the art scene. When you move here, you're going to have a chance to meet wonderful, actually some of them world-renowned artists that make beautiful pieces of arts that ultimately get sold in other places. So you might be like me, where you're not much of an artist, you just love being around them. There's other things that you could also enjoy. The harbor days down at the marina, or there's old wooden boat shows, there's tugboat races, there's all kinds of wonderful events throughout the summer and all year long that you could be a part of to celebrate these activities that happen here in our community.
The sixth thing you need to know before moving to Olympia is that because we are the state capital, we have so many jobs related to government. In fact, a third of the people who live here actually work for the state government. Now, this can be legislature related. There are also so many ancillary services and administration jobs that come with being in the state capital. Olympia's economy then is very stable because of all of these state jobs.
Now, with a stable economy, a lot of reliance upon government jobs and ancillary services that support that, you might be thinking to yourself, how affordable is it? Well, we're going to cover that in the seventh thing that you need to know before moving here, and that is the housing market. And surprisingly, it is quite affordable. And the average price of a home in Olympia is $560,000. The wonderful part about that is in the rural areas, you can find homes cheaper than that for sure. And also, because that's the average price point, you could find things lower than that in the city itself. Some of those are going to be smaller homes and wonderful walking community, as well as a few condos that are much cheaper than that. So you have great options less than that. And if you're looking to live on the water or an ocean view, the great thing is you're about half the price of Seattle, and you can live on the water or have a waterfront view that is absolutely astounding.
Number 8 comes as no surprise to us because we are working with people like you all the time. But other people in the area might be surprised to know how many people are relocating to Olympia. Now, we've already given you 7 reasons why. I mean, we have beautiful green space, it's affordable, we have wonderful art scene, it's super earthy and just makes you feel like you're right at home in a small town feel. So there is quite a few people moving here from California because they don't want to worry about fires and they don't want to worry about their taxes. There's a lot of people moving here from Texas, a lot of people moving here from Arizona and Florida and all over the United States. So just know that you're not going to be the only newbie in Olympia if you decide to move here.
So once you've gotten here and realized other people are moving as well, and you're not just the only newbie, you're going to love our laid back, slow moving, business casual atmosphere. We have a lot of business and governmental jobs that are happening, but you do have to understand it's a little bit slower pace of life. We're not like Seattle. It doesn't feel hustle and bustle. It's not like Tacoma. It doesn't feel like you're in a grind. It kind of feels like you're working in a park and that you're meandering through your day at the cadence, the pace of which you would like to do. And I love it. So business casual, if that's you, well, welcome to Olympia.
And the final thing you need to know before moving to Olympia is something that is usually on everyone's mind. They want to know about the volcano.
That's right.
You know that we have Mount Rainier just right over here over my shoulder, and many people wonder if you have to have volcano insurance. And the answer is no, there is no volcano insurance, so nothing more to add to your bills. The mountain itself is going to look enormous to you. If you have lived in an area that doesn't have any volcanoes, oftentimes we are surprised at how big it looks because it's hidden by the clouds and the fog some days. And then when it comes out, we say,
yeah, she's out today.
Yep, she's out today. The mountain is out. The closer you get to it, and especially if you're going down a narrow road with trees on the sides and the mountain is right in the middle of your view, it is just spectacular.
Yeah.
So you are going to want to enjoy all the things that the mountain has to offer: hiking and photography and mountaineering and just visiting all the historic sites that are near the area, and not so much focusing on what's going to happen if it blows up, because we do get that question also. And we usually say, you know, it hasn't gone off in years and there's no forecast of it going off, and we get to live in its shadow, and it is a beautiful place to live. So you just get to enjoy living in the shadow of beautiful Mount Rainier.
We obviously have a lot more reasons why we love living in Olympia and in Puget Sound area in general. You might have a lot more questions about what it's truly like, so feel free to reach out to us on the number below or jump on our calendar in the link in the description below. We'd love to help you make an informed decision about moving into our area.
And if you've enjoyed this video, then keep watching, because the next one we're going to share with you the hidden costs of living in Olympia.